Hello Hoopers, welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Trick Encyclopedia. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you about elbow hooping. So if you've never seen elbow hooping before, just to give you a little demo, it looks a little something like this. So the hoop is not really on the elbow. Let me turn so you can see a little bit better. The hoop is actually on the forearm and the tricep. So we call it elbow hooping because the elbow is poking out, but you're not really on the elbow. That seems very difficult. There's not a lot of space to work on in there. So just so you understand, the hoop is on the forearm and the tricep, and you're using that same pulsing motion that you would use if the hand is doing the hooping, right? So you see there's a little bit of a pulsing up and down with the hand. The same thing happens with the elbow. You're keeping the same pulse, the same movement. It's just now moving on the arm. So obviously I moved into that really quickly, so you might not have seen what I did. But to get into elbow hooping, essentially all you're doing is waiting for an opening in the hoop. So let me turn so you can see me. Waiting for an opening in the hoop, and then letting go of the hand and pressing the elbow in. So it's almost like a very smooth action of happening at the same time. The hand comes out, the elbow goes in. So wait for that opening, elbow in, let go of the hand. All right, let's try that one more time. Elbow in, let go of the hand. So now to get the hoop off of the elbow, as you saw I just did before, you're gonna let the hand come inside the hoop with the palm facing up. And as you can see, my hand is really resting in a very awkward position. This doesn't feel normal. We don't often make this shape with our arm and our hand. So you may wanna just practice this first, letting the thumb rest on top of the shoulder and then letting the palm face up, and just see if this range of motion is even possible for you. Because if your shoulders are a little tight, if your upper arm is a little tight, you may need to do some stretching first in order to make this position possible. All right, so once you're in elbow hooping, right, you wait for that opening, insert the elbow in, let go of the hand, and then to get the hand back in, you're gonna wait for the opening, draw the hand back in. So first the hand comes out and then in. I'll do that one more time. Hoop is on the elbow. I'm gonna extend the arm out and then let the hand come back. At the same time, the hoop is gonna travel in between the thumb and the index finger. So just like in any off-body trick that I've talked about, this is where you want the hoop to go. So we'll try that again. Hoop on the elbow. Extend the arm out, and then extend the hand back. Let the hoop travel across the top of the palm in between the thumb and the index finger, okay? So I know that's a lot of information to digest right away, so feel free to pause the video, try out it a few times, and then you can continue on as I show you a few different fun things you can do with elbow hooping. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is switching elbows. And you can do this forwards or backwards. So forward elbow hooping switches would involve hooping on one elbow and then switching to the other elbow. So wait for that opening and then sneak the other elbow in. And then you can sneak the other elbow back and just pass back and forth. And I really recommend doing this for a couple reasons. For one, if you ever want to learn reverse elbow hooping, so switching behind the back, you're going to want to learn forward switching first, because you can actually see what's going on and you start to feel the sensation of switching elbows and how it feels on each arm, right? Because let's say that you're just practicing on one side, then this side has no body awareness, no sensation, and it won't know where to go or what to do. So just like I say, practice both sides. I know I say this in every tutorial and I'm sure it's getting old by now, but I'm never gonna stop saying it because I'm a very strong believer in balancing out on both sides. And I know that we all have a tendency to want to practice on our good side, practice on our strong side, our dominant side. So in order to balance out and smooth out, we really need to be switching back and forth. So if you haven't already done so, let's go ahead and move to the other arm, your opposite arm. So if you start with the right, move to the left, vice versa. And I don't think I mentioned this before on the other side, but you really want the hoop to go in a forward direction, right? So regardless of what side you're on, you want it to go forward so that it's rolling over the top of the hand and not on the palm. So you see the difference there? I know we talked about this in an earlier tutorial, but just in case you forgot, this would be a forward motion traveling across the top of the hand, and this would be a reverse because it's traveling more on the palm. Okay, so just for right now, let's keep the hoop traveling forward because it's going to be a lot easier for you to control the hoop and switch it onto the elbow. Okay, so now we have the hoop in the opposite hand. Now wait for that opening again, sneak the elbow in, let go with the hand, extend the arm out, and then palm in, either grabbing the hoop or letting the hoop travel across the top of the hand. So you do have the option to grab the hoop. I'll show that again. So you can just grab the hoop to start with if that makes you more comfortable, and then get comfortable with just starting the rotation again. And that may be easier for you now than it would be to just let the hoop travel across the top of the hand, right? So that's something you can explore. Now, as I mentioned before, just to get the arm back in or the hand back on the hoop, you have to extend the arm out. So this could actually be a very fun transition where you extend the arm in and out of the hoop, in and out of the hoop. You're waiting for that opening. This is going to really help you with timing and understanding where the hoop is at in relation to time, space, gravity, your body, all those sorts of things. So let's say, here I'll switch over here so you can see a little bit better. So you're looking for that opening, and as soon as you see the opening, extend, contract, extend, contract, extend, contract, extend, contract, extend, contract. So each time that the hoop is making that rotation, you have another opportunity to extend the arm or contract it back in towards the body. So you obviously don't have to go that fast. You can let it stay here for a minute, extend, let it stay here for a minute, and then bring it back in. So it doesn't have to be a fast-paced movement, but just know that you do have an opportunity every time the hoop makes one rotation to extend the arm out or bring it back in. So from here, you could also do something fun, and this is an elbow toss, where you give the hoop a little pop up, and then you catch it either with the hand, or advanced variation, you catch it with the opposite elbow. So that would be something really fun to try as well. And since you were starting on the other side, it's important to try all of these things on both sides and make sure that you're balancing it out. So don't try one variation on just one arm, try it on the other two, and you may notice that you're not good at both sides, and you may never be good at both sides. You know, there might always be a dominant side, and that's okay, but the intention is to try to find the balance, right? So hooping invites that balance into our lives where we can see where our tendencies are, on which side we favor, on which area we want to go more to. And then that's when we have this awareness to, okay, well, for example, I notice that I will use my right hand to do a lot more than I will my left. So there are some sessions where I will leave my right hand glued to my lower back and I am forced to just use my left. And yeah, it's not as graceful, it's not as flowy, I feel a little disconnected at times, but what I've realized is after a while of doing this, I feel like I have more overall flow and balance when I'm dancing, when I'm hooping, when I'm listening to the music at the same time. I feel like I'm more connected to what I'm doing because I have spent the time to discipline both sides of the body. So both sides of the body are getting used to these movements and it's not just relying on one side to know. So I hope that that inspires you to not only try elbow hooping, but to keep practicing on both sides of the body, whatever trick that you're on, whatever trick that you're doing, make sure that you're always balancing out. And with that, I'll let you get to work and I will see you on the next lesson.